Most important, she says, is that she met her husband, Rob, here. In addition, Marquette provided an environment of faith and academics that were intertwined in a way that gave her the courage to pursue what ended up being her life's path. Today, Kathy is a professor, director of quality, and vice chair of clinical affairs for the Department of Anesthesiology at the Medical College of Wisconsin, where she works to improve patients' peroperative, did I say that right, Kathy? Experience. She loves teaching and caring for her parents. Patience. Patience. Excuse me. I should take a reading class. She also works to advance the field through her research and is a co-investigator in a study that uses functional MRI to explore the mechanisms of consciousness. Kathy is committed to her service with her family's parishes and schools and to the, here I go again, Venecia del Nino, did I get that right? I hope so, an orphanage in rural Honduras where her daughter worked. Kathy and Rob have also raised 5 kids, Anne, Teresa, Martha, Sarah, and Robbie. Teresa and Sarah followed in their parents' footsteps and are in graduate programs here at Marquette. Please join me in welcoming Kathy, Professional Advancement Award recipient.
Well, thank you. First of all, you guys are a tough act to follow, so thank you, and congratulations to the other recipients. I have to be honest, this entire experience was a little surreal. The day I received the call from Marquette, I don't know if those of you from Milwaukee would remember when there was a shooter at Children's, the entire medical complex had been on lockdown. So I get back to my office after kind of a surprising day, and I get a call from Tim Simmons at Marquette, and I think he thought I was kind of crazed, but I wasn't like, what? Anyway, I've had some time, and since that day, and I realize this is such a great opportunity for me to thank Marquette, because you have been such a special part of my life and my journey. Coming to Marquette was a bit of a whim. In my high school in Champaign, Illinois, in 1975, we had sort of a rudimentary college advising system, and they had, I think it was a computer then, but you put in a bunch of variables and outshot your idea of what school you could go to. Most people got a list. I got Marquette University. And I thought, well, that is so weird. My dad had gone to Marquette University Medical School, and he had at that time been on a mission for me to think of a nice southern school where I'd meet a nice southern boy and settle someplace warm that he could visit. Now, I will tell you, my dad actually was from Duluth, Minnesota, and I ended up marrying a guy from Marinette, Menominee. Oh well. After a series of other coincidences, I did end up at Marquette, really not knowing anyone, and what started to unfold my freshman year is what I am so thankful for. I found Marquette to be a place that was teeming with kind of a connection of both faith and discovery. Now, those faith and discovery are 2 words that I always thought were sort of coin phrases, but when I really think back, I know that when I entered Marquette, I really wasn't that much of a student, and I had no idea that I would really like science. But I started freshman year with Dr. Barrett's freshman biology class, and it was sort of magical. He even ended the last lecture with a quote from George Bernard Shaw's Man and Superman. And I can't even remember what the quote was, but I just thought, that was so cool. So, anyway, and then I had Dr. McKinney, who taught organic chemistry, and he had the most beautiful handwriting of any man I have ever seen in my life. It was so easy to follow, and he was just really a great teacher. I have Father Wild as a professor for one of my theology classes on comparative religions, and it was one of those things that there are things that have come back to me over the years that were part of what he taught. And then we had the experience, my first experience of Jesuit spirituality, which I found to be accessible, open, and kind. The best memories were things like freshman year listening to Father Rick Ebert, who was and is still, you can tell him if you see him, a dreamy guy. And when he would sing, at guitar masses, and he was so cool. Father Sebastian Moore, who used to sometimes do noon mass at St. John of Arc Chapel, and he was like watching A Christmas Carol. Alistair Sims, had this great English accent, and he was fascinating to listen to. And then, of course, we've had a special friendship with Father George Winsenberg over the years. He's been part of the ups and downs of our family. So we're very thankful. But what came to me was that the world was created in a beautiful order from the molecular level on up, and it must be divinely inspired, and that we must be here to care for each other. So my career started at Marquette kind of as an inkling, and then it turned into a hope that medicine might be the place that this could come together. I'm thankful that Marquette did bring a lot of love into my life. First of all my great Marquette friends who I met at Marquette, or through Marquette, and so many have been part of my life all these years, to having my brother Joe attend Marquette with me, and then my sister Teresa. And then, of course, meeting my husband Rob and raising our 5 beautiful kids, and now I have 2 wonderful sons-in-law. So it's been a great partnership, and honestly, like that day, kind of a surprise, like who would ever have thought this would have all worked? When it comes to the professional part of this, again, this sort of started as an inkling, as the things that I really enjoy seem to come together in anesthesiology. I sort of was plopped into a department with a group of extremely high-achieving folks. I think when I joined our department, we were number 5 in NIH funding for anesthesia departments in the nation. I mean, just amazing people who both encouraged me professionally and accepted my mission as a mom. And my first chairman, actually, Dr. Campine, was also a Marquette grad. As an anesthesiologist, I really do feel privileged to be part of people's most difficult, intimate moments of their life. And hopefully, if I did my job well, nobody remembers me. And in fact, so in closing, being remembered by Marquette was again a surprise and such an honor. So thank you for all of my family and friends here. Thanks for also enduring another Lauer Fest. We had 2 weddings last summer, so many of you guys were with us the entire time. I love you all, and God bless.